four, three, two, one.
Welcome to DFW Roundtable Podcast, Texas' most powerful and entertaining podcast, bringing you the best and entertaining interviews from the industry's top music entertainers, sports athletes, and much more. So grab a seat and a cold one and watch, listen, and enjoy. And now, here is your host, Ruben Campos.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the DFW Roundtable Podcast. It is truly my honor to have these guests here, all the way from New York, Mr. David Davila, Angel Ramirez, the Barrio Boyz, along with special guest, Cyndee Hernandez, a.k.a. Cinderella. Welcome to the show, guys.
So, picking up from there, Cyndee, quite the trajectory from Tejano to Latin pop, right? So, but getting back to you guys, Dave, welcome back, brother. We lost you there for a minute. It's good to have you back, brother.
Yeah, bad
we were
weather.
talking about, yeah, man, I hear you. We're talking about the current movement right now from a nostalgic standpoint, as far as the 90s, man, how everybody's thriving on that sound and everything else, man. You guys, again, opened up so many doors, man. I was asking Angel earlier when we were talking, man, as far as how many albums you guys got to do and release, and I think we came to 7, no, Angels, where we stayed at.
Like 7 or 8, Dave,
I think
with the compilations that we did.
yeah, with the compilations and an album that was released in Europe, greatest hits albums. We're looking like maybe I think 13.
Wow.
Damn, look at that,
Wow.
even much.
Yes,
Because we did a
Wow.
lot of compilations, like the
yeah,
soundtrack to I Like It Like That.
yeah,
A whole different mess of different albums we did with featuring other artists también. So
right,
yeah. Even
So
Wu-Tang came out with a Latino. They used to have a Latino label,
right.
Wu-Tang Latino. They even showcase 2 or 3 of our How We Roll album, songs in Wu-Tang Latino. So even that,
wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So going back to memory lane, guys, what would you say, Dave? I'll ask you first, man, because I got you first on screen.
Yeah.
Throughout these 13 albums, man, what would you say if you say, hey, out of my top 2, man, these are my 2 favorite songs, that either because of the performing aspect of it or because of the music?
I mean, I think every album means something. I think the Crazy Coolin' meant a lot to us because that was the first breakthrough record for us. You know, Donde Quiera que Estés is another one. How We Roll, I feel like that was a transition. We kind of like we moved on from pop to R&B. Because Hans came in.
Yeah.
Hans came in the group and he brought in a gritty sound, a more R&B sound. And I think the album that we did, Barriografía, I think that was the best work we did because we did it ourselves. Angel collaborated a lot, Louis collaborated a lot, Hans collaborated a lot. We all worked together on that Barriografía album. We fused it a little bit with our sound, with a little bit of reggaeton that was popping at the time. And then there was another album that we also did, but the group was not the full group. It was just me and Hans, and we had 3 other members, and it's called Destiny. And that was a different sound. So I mean, I don't have like a favorite. I believe that every project we did was great, and everybody just put in that work. They put in that work and
Yeah.
it showcases. A lot of people got their favorites. Yeah, I believe that all the projects that we did, everybody put their sweat and blood and tears, and and they
I was
did
going to
good.
say, brother, it's hard to really separate those because you put so much into them, right? How about you, Angel? Anything out there stick
Yeah,
out for you?
yeah. It's funny that they said Crazy Cool in our first album ever. That's very nostalgic. It was us really just starting to find our place, the sound, So it's very, very personal to us because that's what introduced the world to Barrio Boyz. Donde Quiera que Estés, super iconic because, hey, Trabajando con la Reina is unforgettable. It's stamped in history, in
Yeah.
life. And
Right.
we got so many beautiful, so much love from our people, our Latino heritage, our nuestra gente. How We Roll was amazing, you know. One that we didn't speak about was our first and last Christmas album,
Yeah,
Navidad Tu y Yo,
yeah,
which is so sought after every year
yeah,
for the
Yeah.
holidays. It's one of my favorites because it's the only Christmas album that we have, and everyone to date say we play this album out. We just, you know, it's very special. But yeah, every single album has a little bit of something magical in what we did. Unfortunately, the album Barriografía, many people watching this podcast will go, Barriografía, I never heard of that one, because it never got to fully launch. Like David said, we did that on our own, out of our own pockets. We had an investor, Frank, who helped us from Connecticut. He owned like several McDonald's franchises, and he loved us like a dad. So he invested a lot of his money with our manager, with us. We love Frank wherever he may be in his family, so we send him a lot of love. But yeah, that was done with that. But then, unfortunately, that wasn't able to go where we wanted it to go because the tour got cut off short. Due to certain people that unforeseen weren't doing the right thing with Frank and with us, and us having that little encounter, that little rough patch, kind of not allowed for that album to be sold to everyone around the world. So for them to find it, they probably can find it. It's, fans out there have it and they make little copies here for them. But it's a magical album. And we also didn't mention that on that album, unfortunately, last year, February of last year, we lost one of the members that we considered a member to us in the group. It was Frank Nitti,
Oh
the
wow.
the African American rapper that was always with us, rapping everywhere, touring with us,
Hmm.
Barrio Boyz. We inducted him as a Barrio Boy, and he lost his life, early last year. So he also co-wrote one or two songs on Barriografía, and we miss him to death, Frank Nitti. So yeah, so this is hard, man. It's like we love all of them. Anything
yeah.
Barrio Boys, it's hard for us to pick one
Yeah,
and
They're
just.
all.
we
Yeah.
I want to elaborate more about the albums. Yeah, we worked with a lot of artists. I mean, how we wrote, we had incredible artists there. We got to shout out to Fat Joe, because Fat Joe, he was spitting 16, like his 16 bars on this song called "I Get Lifted." And unfortunately, the record company chose another single, and they didn't went with that single with Fat Joe on it. So shout out to Fat Joe, cool brother and everything. So he was also in that record, in that album, and how we roll. We also
That was
collaborated.
iconic.
Yeah, we collaborated with Frankie J. He was in our album, and then we also was on his album, the same song. So it was, we were sharing the same song, and his album. So shout out to Frankie J. And so many artists, and going back to the beginning of Crazy Coolin' is a very iconic record because Gloria Estefan, husband, worked on that album. So like what Angel
Wow.
said,
Hmm.
what Angel said, we had some great producers. So
Yeah.
Gloria Stefan, shout out to her and Emilio Stefan. They gave
Emilio.
us some bangers in there, and it was awesome and amazing working with him and all that. So that album, it was like finding our niche, and we kind of like we hit it on the nail, and it just took off,
It took off. It took
Yeah.
off.
Guys, I got to ask you guys, right? And Cyndee, you got to see a little bit of this and experience this a little bit of yourself. But being the young men you were, right, at this time, and all of a sudden going from the barrios, right, in New York to all of a sudden, man, being in Regis and filming, Kathy Lee and Regis, right? I've seen you guys in MTV Latino,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
You guys were everywhere,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
How do I guess I got to ask you, man, from this side, this perspective, right? How did you guys manage to keep yourself grounded and level headed at that time and not let things get out of control? Because I mean, literally, man, everywhere you guys were, man, you guys were facing mega crowds, man.
Ruben, it's called pledging, right, Dave?
Yeah, yeah,
Pledging.
pledge. We pledge under the flag of
Tell
Phi
them.
Beta Sigma. So shout out to Phi Beta Sigma. We pledge
Blue
under that
fire.
flag. And our manager, he wanted that. he wanted us to just be unified together. So it kind of taught us to be,
The glue, that
the
glue.
glue together, like unity. If one of us mess up, then the rest of the line pays for it. So it kept us together. And then
Hmm.
we also had a manager that, he was very strict, like not, he was good. He was tough on us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, so we had some good people that was around in the beginning stages that were really pushing us and had us grounded and stuff, like that. But yeah, the Phi Beta Sigma pledging under that flag and that banner that taught us unity, and to this day we still keep in touch. To this day we still call each other. If we need something, we'll help each other out. So that's one of the reasons why we lasted pretty long. Um,
That
so
is pretty
yeah,
awesome, man.
yeah,
That is
yeah,
pretty awesome to
yeah.
hear. That's awesome, Cyndee. How about for you? Because you were in some big stages as well when you were touring. I mean, how did you all manage to keep it like stay grounded?
I mean, I'm just always being humble. Like, I mean, I've always been like the same way I am right now. I've always
Yeah,
been
but
the
that's
same
hard,
way.
man. You
It
can
is
say it, but it's
hard. It's
hard,
hard.
right? It's hard.
No, it is hard. Even today, I mean, like, everywhere I go, because I'm in the San Antonio area all the time, and everywhere I go, like, I get, recognized and noticed and everything. But it's just like I say, it's just being humble. And I don't know. It's just the way, I guess, the way my parents raised me, uh, keeping your head level headed, and because we are at the end of the day, we're a people like everybody else. You know what I mean?
True. Very true.
We
Very
are.
true. Yeah, you're right. You're right. But
Yeah,
it takes a lot of discipline también. Pero you guys just hit
Yeah,
something there, man. You yeah, and I could tell you all carry with pride, man. Is your pledge because I know
yeah,
Angel you
yeah,
had
yeah,
mentioned
for
that earlier,
sure.
man. And man, kudos to your manager, man, for taking you there and committing you guys to that because it sounds like it was very successful for you guys to be able to stay focused, man, and not
It
lose
wasn't
that.
easy.
I bet. I bet.
Oh, Ruben, it wasn't easy. It
Yeah, it
wasn't.
wasn't
And
easy.
it's you got to remember. You got to remember your humble beginnings. One thing I always make a point of is that you're here today and you're here tomorrow.
Right.
You
exactly,
can't be or think like there's a lot of celebrities out there that I see, and it's unfortunate when you see them acting like they don't even want to take the time to sign an
Yeah.
autograph. You can't even touch them. You can't take a
Right.
photo of them without them getting upset or grabbing your camera. I mean,
Yeah.
like you spend your whole life to want to be famous. Now that you're there, you're too good for your
exactly,
fans. Like it don't,
Right.
it's an oxymoron. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you do
Yeah.
that?
exactly,
These people are buying your records. They're the ones like crying to touch you, and they get
Right.
so overwhelmed with your presence, and you're gonna be like that. That's
Yeah.
horrible. And we
exactly,
were never like that. We pledged. We suffered a lot. Trust me. The behind the scenes, we suffered a lot. We paved the way. And we earned everything that we got. It wasn't handed to us on a silver platter.
exactly.
We sounded horrible at the beginning. We were just unison singing. We didn't know nothing about harmony. We would hear a lot of stuff. People would call us Rico, five Rico Suaves. They were like, Rico. Yeah, we heard it all
Yeah,
because we were
yeah,
five guys, long hair, earring.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they thought we were like five Rico Suaves. That's what they would call us. And we heard it all, but we finally, our manager put us together in a vocal class with one of the old school singers from a group back in the 50s, 60s called the Cadillacs.
yeah,
And he taught us a lot of harmony. We will meet up with him weekly to learn harmonies by the keyboard. And we also worked
Yeah.
with a choir singer from church, and we learned the different intricate kind of harmonies, and that really it was hard at the beginning because when you sing harmony, you have to ignore what your fellow partner is singing. He could be
You're on
singing
your
up here,
own.
you're
Yeah.
low, and it'll distract you. So that was really
Yes.
hard at the beginning, but we learned to ignore it, and we nailed it, and we loved it, and we practiced it in the subways, the city subways, here in the
Yeah.
trains, in front of
Yeah.
people, and people are like, "Oh my God, you guys are great! You guys, who are you guys?" And we're like, "Oh, we're known as the Barrio Boyz. We have no record deal." And people are like, "Man, you guys, here's our business card. Here's our business card." Everyone,
yeah,
and little by little, God is big. And of course, the glue to all things is God. Without God, man, and with that faith, that loyalty, you're not gonna get anywhere because every time before we would perform for the audience, we always prayed. And Dave could tell you, we always got together in a circle, gave all our praises to God. Thank you, Lord. Let us have a great show and let's do this for the people. Boom, we go out there with that energy and God backing us up. And we were like, nobody can touch us. So it's a
Wow,
lot of
man.
little pieces, moving pieces.
I tell
Yeah,
you what, man, you guys mastered it for sure
yeah,
because, man, those harmonies, man, still come through, man.
yeah.
Very comparable to, like you said, the Boys to Men, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we
Awesome.
worked
Awesome.
hard.
Thank you.
We worked hard. I mean, we had some good vocal coaches from like old school era and taught us harmonies. And then we had that hunger. We were all hungry to make it. And um,
Yeah.
Mhm.
it was fun. I mean, we sang in front of people, strangers, train stations, also the Apollo Theater. That was another
Oh yeah.
test for
Oh,
us.
there it goes.
We were behind the curtains, and then we were singing a song. And when
Thank
that curtain
you.
opened, people was like, "Wait a minute." They thought we were brothers and stuff like that. And they see, oh, these are what kind of people are they? And then we singing in the Apollo. So if you make it the Apollo, you can make it anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So
Wow.
shout out to the Apollo.
That's right, man.
The Apollo Theater opened up a lot of doors for us
Dang.
too. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to that.
Jeez. Man, and to survive that, Dave, man, that's an accomplishment within itself.
Yeah,
Nobody,
yeah,
not too many
yeah.
people could say they survived the Apollo, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
Yeah,
huge,
they're
man.
picky.
Apollo
They're
Theater, yeah.
picky.
Yeah, they
They don't
picky, man.
play.
Yes.
That's a tough crowd,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
That's super tough crowd. Now you guys touched base a little bit on it, man. I want to touch a little bit more on it, man, because
Hmm.
of course I'm in Dallas. You
Yeah.
guys mentioned La Reina, right? Selena working with her, man, and I think it was perfect timing for you guys and for her to collaborate because you guys are hot. She was just coming up at that time as well, right? She had a few mega hits already at the time, and then that one came in from a pop side of it that we hadn't seen in Selena, man. And it was a great, man. So talk to me about that. How was it to work with her, man? Any fun stories you may have that you guys can remember while shooting the video or doing the song, man?
Yeah, the whole brainchild behind Barrio Boyz and Selena didn't come from our camp. It came from the record label president, Jose Bejar,
Mm,
when we finally were sent to the West Coast to start working on the all Spanish album, Donde Quiera que estés. He goes, listen, guys, I just want you guys to know I just signed this girl. She's amazing. She's beautiful, but hey, hands off because she's married. When we were like laughing, we were like, yeah, no problem, no problem. And he goes, but she's amazing. I have this idea that Donde Quiera que estés for you guys to bridge you guys together and you guys are going to be, it's going to be an amazing song. But I also want you guys to do a song that I grew up listening to. It's called Make It With You by a group called Bread from the
Bread.
oh
uh,
yeah.
the 70s.
Yep.
And it's going to be called Cerca de Ti. And we're like, yeah, whatever, sure. But
Hmm.
when we finally meet Selena, man, it was like, he was right. She was gorgeous. We were like, our jaws dropped. We were like, wow, this girl is gorgeous. But her energy lit up a room. We met Chris, we respect Chris and her family. And we just almost like when I went to meet the Barry Boys, that I knew it felt like family.
Yeah.
Same exact thing. It was like we clicked and the rest was history and touring with her. I mean,
Yeah.
Dave could
Yeah.
tell you it
Yeah.
was magical every
It,
step.
yeah. It was amazing. It was an amazing time and moment. What I can remember was, when they presented Selena to us, we didn't know too much about Tejano music and stuff. And
Hmm.
when we heard her vocals, because they had a cassette at that time, we heard her sing a Whitney Houston record, and we kind of like, oh wow, she can sing, so she can match our style.
Right.
But
Right.
I just want to let people know that before we hooked up with Selena, we were already, we were already a mega hit. You know what I'm saying? We already had a hit with
Yep.
Crazy
Yep.
Coolin', Muy Suavemente, Make It With You, that Seca de Ti. Then they dropped Donde Quiera que Estés. So it was a collaboration for us to fuse, go into her market. And then she'll come into our market because we were already known in the pop side. So they wanted like trying to get with her to open, we want to open the doors for her to get into that English market pop side. And that was it. It was a crossover thing. And, we recorded that song and we did it together. That's another thing I want to clarify too, that a lot of people seen the movies and all that stuff about Selena. And at the end of the day, they don't really showcase the truth story. And we recorded that record in LA, California, Casey's house, and we did it together. We were
Casey
together, we
Carter.
recorded that. and we shot the music video in New York City in the West Side. So in the
Hmm.
freezing cold, you know. So I just want to, mention that Selena, we were already a hit. We were already a hit. We were already big. And Selena, we worked together so we can go into her market. She comes to the market,
Awesome.
and it was amazing. We ended up touring with her, meeting the family, and it was an awesome, amazing tour, man. Because Selena's a prankster. She's a prankster, man, and
Oh
we
my
all
gosh.
She was a
Oh
we
my.
all
jokester.
we all had like stories to tell, like Angel, me, and Cyndee. Also, she had stories to tell. I mean, we used to got when we had our downtime. We would go to the movies, we go to the amusement park. It was an incident that we went to a Pizza Hut, and we all chilling, and then
Oh my.
I go to the bathroom, and they prank, Selena and Chris, they prank us, and they put hot sauce, and I'm choking and
Oh,
everything, and it was just a funny moment, playing video games.
Oh
So
my God.
yeah, so is an amazing human being. She was very humble. But everybody had
yeah.
a lot of time and different, moments with her as far as like experiences.
Yeah.
Angel could tell you one of his special experiences too.
Yeah, yeah, we were on her tour bus, and it's funny because she was telling us, "Hey, my dad, he loves Oreo cookies, man. He give him a glass of milk with Oreo cookies, and he will love you for life." And she goes, "You know what? I have an idea." So we had pulled over. Yeah, we pulled over at a rest stop to go to the bathroom, buy some snacks before we continued on. So we
Yeah.
stop, she buys some cookies, whatever. We come back on the bus, we continue the ride. All of a sudden, she goes, watch, watch. And we're like, what is she gonna do? What is she up to? She gets some, like 5 cookies. She removes the cream and she
The white,
replaces
yeah.
the cream with toothpaste, Colgate toothpaste. And she puts it back on and we're like, no, oh my God. So she goes, so she gets the glass of milk, the plate, brings it to him. Next thing you know, he starts eating a cookie and everybody's waiting to see, but he doesn't react. He just keeps eating. So what's
Yeah.
Yeah.
going on? Next thing you
Yeah.
know, afterwards, he looks back, he goes, hey, mija, what kind of Oreos are these? These are like minty. And everybody lost
I
it.
Yeah.
was, oh
Dad, that
man.
was Colgate. I took the cream out. Oh my
Eh,
God, I'm gonna kill you. What are you doing? But
Yeah.
she was that type of person. She was
That's
filled
awesome.
with so much, love and life, but she was also a prankster.
Oh, that's
She,
awesome, man. That's a great story,
So
man. And
much.
going back to what Dave said, and because I remember, but I think it was and that's why record labels, you got to hand it to them, man. They really know what they're doing, right? As far as when collabs are good and we're not.
Mhm.
It
ideas,
was,
yeah.
I think, it was a win-win for both because you guys were big already, right? And Selena was again, it just signed with EMI and about to go huge, mega.
Hmm.
But I tell you what it did, guys, and I'm gonna be 100% honest with you. I didn't know Barrio Boys until you did Selena
Right.
That's
because
crazy, yeah.
I wasn't exposed to that music, right? Then
Right.
guess what I did after that? I started looking you guys up, looking at all the music, and then Cerca de Ti came out, and dude, you guys just blew me away after that,
Yeah.
man. Like, damn, man. So you
Yeah.
become fans. So that crossover is good. And you guys gained some Tejano fans into that, and then she got into
Oh,
that
big
market
time.
too. It was a
Oh, and
it
just
was a
one
good.
thing, yeah, and for the record, yeah. So Cerca de Ti was the first single out of Donde Quiera que Estés album. That was the first drop, Cerca
Hmm.
de Ti. That blew up, went to #1 on Billboard. Then that's when the president said, ajá, ahora vamos a lanzar Donde Quiera que Estés with them and Selena. Then that shot up to #1 también. And one thing also for the record, like Dave was mentioning about the documentaries that were put
Hmm.
out, it's unfortunate, but a lot of the newer generation of now don't realize that they don't see us in these documentaries.
Right.
In this new documentary, everybody's been calling me, telling me, Dave, that there's a little small piece of us in there. Thank God, because every other, I don't know
I didn't
why,
see
for
it.
whatever reason, yeah, you never really saw it. Like they show in the other documentaries, the one that was done, the first one, and then Maria Celeste did one in
Hmm.
Mexico.
Right.
That one they show
El
Selena
secreto.
singing Donde Quiera que Estés, like she's alone
Right.
singing
With the
Donde Quiera que Estés.
Dinos.
That's not exactly how it happened. It was us together. And matter of fact, the
Yeah.
part that they made Selena sing in that documentary, that was my part that I sing. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not how that happened. So a lot, it sucks because a lot of fans, they believe what they see. So they think, oh, Selena did that. Who are these guys? Oh, they came
Yeah,
after, I guess, and they don't know the true story behind that. So
Yeah,
that was kind of messed up how that happened. But yeah,
yeah,
we were
yeah,
both
yeah.
equally
That was
riding on each other's market.
yeah,
Go ahead, David.
that was our song. That was our song, and she was featuring on it. And that documentary that they put out over there, that they erased all of our vocals. I mean, they completely erased
yeah,
everybody's vocals and depicted a scene where she recorded that by herself. That was some bullshit right there. Straight up bullshit. I wasn't feeling it. I'm being real. It
yeah.
was
He just
bullshit.
went out.
You
Sorry,
know what I'm
folks.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Hey, hey,
I'm just keeping
Dave's keeping it real, man. Dave's
I'm
keeping it
keeping it
real.
real
Yeah,
because it's like that's like erasing our history, you know what I'm saying, together.
Our
And it's
right.
legacy.
like,
Yeah, man,
yeah,
it's not
it's
cool.
like
Yeah.
Exactly.
it was some crazy nonsense that they did, and I'm just gonna call it how it is. It was whack. It was bullshit. But I know that
You-
Selena wouldn't want that, and but the business is a dirty
Oh,
business,
absolutely.
and people are gonna do what they're gonna do.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But but it was an amazing moment in time, and we God rest his soul, Abraham Quintanilla. You know what I'm saying? We had time with him too. You know,
Recently passed.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
Yes.
recently passed. My condolences to the family and everything. They're good people, but
Likewise.
it
Yeah.
was a great time and moment, and it was it's so many things that we did. It's like I'm trying to remember. I know Angel probably got more
Yeah.
memory than me, but I'm trying to remember. But
Yeah.
now
Every
today,
day.
yeah. So we just wanted to let that known that that was our record, that was our song. She was featuring on it, and of course, now when you see the video, they flip everything around where it's us flipping.
Right.
It's us featuring, and it's her song. And like I said, it's that's the business of the music industry. It's a dirty game. So, but we had
And
a great moment in time, and that was a win-win situation for us and for her. Because she, like
I
you said it, that you didn't know who we were until we hooked up. So that we enter into
right.
your market. So then you tap in, you
Right.
type, oh, who's these guys? And that's how everybody gets to know, you know?
And yeah, and it
Yep.
happened
Exactly.
like that for our fans. They were like,
Yeah,
we didn't know who Selena was until we saw
yeah,
you guys, and
yeah,
they loved her.
Exactly.
So it just we were like one family. That's
hmm
why when she was
Yeah.
alive, she loved
Yeah.
us like brothers. We loved her like a sister. We joked around. We didn't take nothing personal because we knew how she was, a prankster. Like with me, she would always snap at me because she would say, where you from, Angel? Where you from? I was like, New York. She goes, yeah, New York, New York. Angel's from New York.
yeah, yeah,
And I'm like, oh, she goes, do you have an accent? I was like, I do? I never realized that. She goes, yeah, you're from New York, New York. I'm like,
Yeah. Well,
coffee. Yeah, you're coffee.
the me and Cindy talked a little bit about that documentary because it's out there, right? And but I think it was the reporter herself, Maria Celeste, I believe. She's done
Maria
Univision and
Yes.
Celeste.
so, right.
Yes.
And we knew
So
her.
I think it was just the way she portrayed it, man. That it shouldn't have
Yeah,
been
it
done that
was,
way. And that's the way.
no,
That's the
and
thing
yeah.
that happens with documentaries, right? The producer has a lot of control of how they do it and how they manage it. And I just think she didn't see through it carefully to say, hey, by doing this, I'm leaving out a huge portion of this song,
I
which
think
is
I know what happened. I think I know what happened. I'm thinking sometimes people try to cut corners,
yeah,
right? All
yeah,
right, well, Barry Boys, for me to put them on there and get permission, they're probably going to charge me astronomical amount of money to do that. I
very
don't have the
true.
money like that. I really want this to get out there because I wrote the book of El Secreto de
Yeah,
Selena. It'll put a stop to my momentum. You know what? Let's just do it. That she was singing her, that is, her part, and we don't put them that. But then you're doing an injustice because you're not telling the
Exactly.
truth.
very true,
You're
very
doing
Exactly.
true.
the docu series, the documentary. Keep it 100 because little do
Yeah,
you know, by you trying to cut corners and for it not to cost you a pretty penny, you're discounting years of groundbreaking, esfuerzo, hard
Yes.
work that we did to get there. So our children, our culture
Your
is
legacy.
erased. Our
hmm
legacy is
yeah,
erased. Thank you,
Hmm.
Cyndee. Is erased,
yep.
and then people will never know who we were and won't appreciate what we did.
I
And
agree,
it'll
brother.
only be looked at as, oh, it's just her. And we love Selena. We never, and I always, every interview, I always say this: we will never trash Selena. We'll never trash
Right.
her family or her fans. We love Selena more than people even could imagine. You know, Selena
Hmm.
knows this in spirit, and she knew it in physical. You know, in reality, we loved her like she loved us, and we would never want to take credit for something that doesn't belong to us. But the truth is the
Exactly.
truth, like Dave
Well,
just
that's
said, and it's just unfair. You know, we would
well,
never try to take something that belongs to Selena and make it ours when it's really not ours. You know, we would never do that.
right.
But you know, the facts need to be told correctly, and
Well,
hopefully
I'm
one
glad you
day
had
Barry
a.
Boyz has a document that we
Well,
do, a documentary,
andale.
and then you guys will
Yeah,
see. You
well,
know,
and that's the beauty of
But,
these things,
you
right?
know,
Of having these podcasts, that you're able, and the fans here will be able to hear it and see it. That hey,
yes,
and
and
that's
everybody,
the
it's
thing.
never been told. The thing is that in all
Hmm.
these years, this has never been said and never been told. And the fans, when I started bringing out, little by little, it's trying to see what reaction I would get about, from the Barrio Boys, I started posting little by little, what reaction am I going to get? And everybody, I'm not kidding you, every single fan, that's the first question they would ask me: what's going on? Why this and why that? And a lot of people that I knew that I was associated with them, kept continuously asking me these questions, and I'm like,
Hmm.
what can I tell you? The truth is the truth. And I said, one of these days, you guys will hear it. You guys will hear it straight from the
Yeah,
source.
yeah.
And
Well,
that's why
here it
we're here
is.
today.
Here it
And here we
is.
are today. And here we are today.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, no, man. Thanks
Oh,
for sharing those and sharing those stories, man. Those are great memories, and not only that, man, but also for the clarification for the fans to know about them.
Exactly.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
that's
I
pretty
mean,
very
big.
because
important.
the fans at the end of the day are the ones that, like Angel and David said, they're the ones, without them, we would be nothing. So they deserve to know what they want to know. I mean, not in none of their personal lives, right? But
Yeah.
behind the scenes, the
Yep.
story, the correct story.
No, yeah, they
You
deserve
know,
that. They deserve that.
All right, guys. I got to ask you both because now we're jumped to the second
We're
segment, right?
cooking. We're
To
cooking.
we're
okay,
cooking, man. It's grilling right now, brother. I
okay,
got to get you and
sizzling.
Dave, you guys, and all three of you guys here. This is what the most asked questions so far that we've had. So what's next? What's coming from the Barrio Boys? What can we expect? Tell us a little bit about the future, man. What does it hold? What can fans expect of the Barrio Boys, if anything? What's coming up here in the near future?
Well, that's a good question
Wow.
because Dave, myself, we've been asking ourselves that question for a long time. We've tried to bring the Barrio Boy back time and time again. You know, some of the guys are married. You know, some of the guys have their own little area and direction that they want to go into. With me, I definitely got and continue to do here and there acting. I've been doing that since I was 11, so I love doing little acting projects. As far as production and music, I've for the past 5 to 6 years, no, actually a little more. I would say maybe 10 years now, investing in myself, putting out songs. People know me now. They know me as Angel Ramirez Jr. That's my birth name and everything, but they know me as Arami Boy, which they can find me through Spotify, Deezer, Apple Music. And I learned a lot about production. I do my own production, my own writing. I continue to write. So I've been doing that, but I've been also doing here and there projects with the Barry Boys. Like the last thing we did during a pandemic was with MDO Menudo.
Oh yeah.
Abel, I think he lives in Dallas, if I'm not mistaken, right? He's from
Abel,
Dallas,
yeah.
Abel,
Well,
and
he's
he
actually
reached
from
out to me.
Pecos. Yeah, he's
Oh,
actually from
really?
Pecos, Texas. Yeah.
Okay, okay.
Mm.
Well, he's a brother that we know for a long time. He called me because he saw me doing stuff and he wanted me to get down during a pandemic, a project that he was doing with his brother from MDO and also Angel Lopez from Some by Four. And
Mm.
so then he said, hey, he brought the idea to my attention. I was like, well, I'll tell you what, I'm in talks with the guys from the Barrio Boys. Would you mind if I bring them in? He goes, what? I didn't know that you guys were talking. So we did a project on their album. They did like a little compilation thing and or single for the pandemic because they also had lost one of their members, Anthony Galindo.
Galindo.
Rest Galindo, yeah, rest in peace. To him and his family, condolences. And we thought it was a great idea because we were thinking about Selena.
Yeah.
Me myself, I had lost my mother and my father. A couple of the other guys. We had gone through situations that we lost someone special in our lives. So that was perfect. So it wasn't all the guys in the group. It was like maybe 75 to 80% of the Barrio Boys. It was David, myself, and Robert. Louis was going to be part of it. Unfortunately, he didn't make it. But we also have Frankie J in there that we
Yeah.
pulled in, and it's called Contigo en el Cielo. It
Okay.
is amazing. It sounds like a Barry Boy song because everybody with their harmony, our harmony. I wrote the bridge part for Barrio Boys that we're in there doing like a doo-wop the way the fans remember us.
Mhm.
So
Right.
if you for those that don't know, go look for it. It's called Contigo en el Cielo
En el cielo.
with MDO featuring Barrio Boys,
So
Angel from Some by Four.
is that on digital platforms?
Yeah, yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can find it. Contigo en el Cielo. It's beautiful. So it's almost like Hard
Beautiful.
to Say Goodbye, but a different version in Spanish. It's like really beautiful. It has like so many featured artists in there,
That's great, man.
But yeah, it's just a beautiful thing to want to come back. And hopefully we're praying that we're able to bring us back, even if it's three of us, because I know the fans, they don't care. They just want us to come back. And it's not as easy as they think, but we're
Wow.
working on it.
Dave,
Yeah.
how about you from your end, Dave? What do you think?
Um, I'm gonna elaborate on that record, Contigo Cielo, amazing record that we put together, that we collabed together, and Angel and Fizz, they put together the music video. Like we shot that video in New York, our scenes. So shout out to Fizz and Angel. Like Angel's the tech guy, so he had the camera to do it. So it was fun shooting the video,
Yeah.
and it was amazing because we ended up getting Rob. Rob came back to do that. Unfortunately, the pandemic shut down everything because there was plans behind that, and it just shut
Right.
down. Everything
Right.
got shut down. For us to get back together,
Oh,
man.
Dave,
Wow.
tell them real quickly. Tell Dave. Sorry, Dave. Mention
Yeah,
why you weren't able to fly out to Orlando, and some of the other guys either. But he was just about to go. But tell him that.
man. I totally forgot, man. I forgot what happened and stuff.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
totally
You
forgot,
caught
man.
COVID. You couldn't. You caught
Oh
COVID. Your
yeah,
family.
Yeah.
yeah. I called COVID. That's right. And shit, I remember now. It's
Oh my
Oh
I
God.
actually
man.
forgot. But
Yeah.
yeah, I got sick. And we couldn't do it. But then we ended up shooting the scenes here when Angel came back. But the video, if they want to check out the video, if the
Hmm.
video's still out there, it's a banging video, man. I mean, it's really well done.
Well, there you go.
The
Hmm.
It's
song is
really
done.
good.
So going
There you
back
go.
to
There you
what it
go.
would take, going back to what it would take for us to come back, a whole lot of money. We need a whole lot of money to come back. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, it's got to be the right time. It's got to be money, and then we all have to have the same
Right song.
mindset. We have to have the same
Yes.
mindset. Like we all have to want it, and we have to
Right.
get in the grind and focus. But it really boils down, to be honest, it really boils down to having that budget, the money, and a backing, someone that believes and want to push the project. You know what I'm saying? But you never know. You never say never in the industry. You know what I'm saying? Because that people are coming back out and all that stuff, and then people going back to the 80s and the 50s and the 60s, even in movies. Movies now they're
Nostalgia.
going back. Yeah, they're going back to nostalgia songs. So you never know. Maybe
Mhm.
somebody might hit us up and be like, "Hey, I want to do something with y'all guys." But it boils down to really a backing
Somebody
money.
somebody may be watching right now that says, you know what, Dave, I'm going to take you up on that because I believe in the Barrio Boys. And
Yeah.
going back to the nostalgia, guys, me and Cyndee were talking about this, how it's
Mhm.
definitely right now, it's the thing. Where's Backstreet Boys at right now? They're in Vegas playing at the Sphere, brother. Sold out
Exactly.
Yeah,
every show.
they
Why?
have a
People like that
yeah,
groove, man.
yeah,
There's a thirst for it, right? So,
yeah.
Exactly.
and I got to tell you right now, the commotion, just a commotion of you guys coming back on to the show and being able
Right.
to hear from you guys has caused a lot of excitement.
A
So
lot of
um,
commotion. Yeah,
I think
literally
you guys,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, go
that's
ahead,
what I
Cyndee.
want.
Thanks.
That's what I wanted to say. So like, because you were asking me earlier today when we were talking. Yeah, like there's like a lot of stuff in the works, to be honest. And right now, like I said, I'm getting a lot of I don't know how you say it, muchas propuestas from a lot of places are
Mm-hmm.
coming,
Right.
so there's a lot of things, a lot of projects, and that a lot of people want to do with the Barrio Boyz and with myself as well. And so there's a lot of projects and talk, a lot of stuff in the talks, right now, and hopefully in the works. And I'm in the studio working right now on some nostalgic music. Uh, Maybe something with a Barrio Boys, maybe coming up. But
Ándale.
hopefully in the near future, we will see. If anybody is interested, like I said, hit me up and we'll work on something. You know what I mean? I like I said, it's been amazing since we started doing these podcasts. The first podcast I think was back in August. David, do you remember the first
Yeah,
one we ever
yeah,
did?
yeah. We did it. Yeah,
We
it
did a
was
radio show.
radio show, and we've been doing podcasts. So lately, that's what Angel and I and Cyndee, that's what we've been doing is podcasts, talking about our stories, our experiences. Being in the boy band, and elaborate a little bit about how Selena was and how we got together. So that's what we're doing right now. Talking a little bit about us and what we've been through
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So that's what we're doing for now. But like I said,
Yeah, and due to this, yeah.
yeah. So it's like it's gonna take, someone with a vision and deep pockets to really want to take this project because it's not easy to push nostalgia and acts, you know what I'm saying? So it has to be the right
Right.
time, the
Yeah,
right
Right.
place. And also
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
all five of the guys gotta want it. They gotta want it. If they want to do it, they
Yeah.
gotta want it. So that's what it boils down to.
Exactly.
Well,
Yeah, and that was my. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Or if you want to,
no,
my
no, go ahead.
purpose. My purpose was to bring the nostalgia back. So when I talked to the guys about doing this, at the beginning I couldn't get anybody to agree, right? But because everybody's like, this, because, and I know it's hard. I know it's hard to come and want to come back to after you have been gone from the music industry for such a long time, and believe me, myself, I've been away for a really long time myself. But little by little, the fans were like, "Hey, you need to do a comeback. You need to do a comeback." And I thought about it, and I said, let me talk to my brothers. Let me talk to my brothers and see what they think. And I started doing this with David. We started doing a radio show. We did a radio show, which was transmitted all over Mexico, and that from there came a lot of offers to do shows in Mexico, La Arena Monterrey, and a lot of big stuff. But it's in the talks. It's in the talks, and everyone has to come together, and everything has to meet standards. Of course, it has to meet everybody's standards, and it has
Yeah, it
to
has to make
comply with everybody.
sense.
Yeah.
It has
Yeah.
to
Well,
make sense. It
here
definitely
here's
has to
the
make sense.
here's the
But
good news, guys, is that the want is there from the fans' perspective, which is the biggest thing, right? You have that fan base, that strong fan base, right? But today's point, it's got to be at the right time. It's got to make
yes,
sense and
of
economically,
course,
right? Because everybody's got careers and stuff like that. It's going to take away from
yes,
your families now, so it's got to be worth it.
Hmm.
exactly.
One case I could tell you, man. I'm a big fan of Journey, the band. I'm
Ooh.
dying to see at least one more time, man. If I could hear Steve
Right.
Steve Perry back with Journey one more time, but it's just not there, man. And it's like he said, it just doesn't feel right anymore. And for us fans, it's a bummer, but we also understand. So I know that's why when Dave was talking, man, I was shaking my head because I can definitely agree what he's saying, man. And but hey, if it happens, I got to tell you guys, the fans are ready, guys. So even
Nice.
Angel, even like you said, even if it's just three of you guys, right?
Right.
I think the interest is there, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
or
The
even
interest
if
is
the
Exactly.
there.
guys don't
Yeah.
want to tour, because I was thinking about this day, and I told Dave this before. Even because I'm always behind the scenes thinking, not only for us but for the fans. Like, we owe them so much. I'm like, man, I respect that some guys just don't want to do it anymore. We're at that, you know, place in our lives where we have families and we don't want to be
Right,
touring and all that.
right,
How do we make it happen? So in my mind, I'm like, okay. Maybe the guys that don't want to tour and do that anymore, maybe if we can just get them to do the vocals for one album of 7 tracks, and we don't have to do any traveling. Maybe the music video to one or two of those songs in that album, and it's our farewell album as a gift to the fans. I think that would be amazing, and I think that they would
oh
love
yeah,
that, and they don't have
oh
to
yeah,
be committed to a tour, but
right.
give them that as like a farewell gift. That
It,
would be nice.
it's like they say, brother, a curtain call, right? That's the way you all
Right.
close y'all's chapter. Yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great
like
too,
here you
man.
go, people.
Yeah,
This is for you. We did it specifically
yeah.
because you guys asked. Here you go, and that will be amazing. I pray that that can be done at some point soon, because we're still alive. And it's like they say in Spanish. There's a salsero that of what's his name? Gilbertito Santa Rosa. Lo que me den, que me lo den en vida.
True.
Meaning, whatever you're
Exactly.
gonna
Yeah,
give me, if you're gonna praise me, if you're gonna love me, give it to me while I'm alive. Don't do it while I'm gone
Exactly.
as a
amen.
commemorative thing. I'm
Yeah,
alive. I'm well. Come on, glorify me
right.
now, or
Yeah,
praise my music and my accolades now. No wait till I'm gone and then tell everybody how you miss me and you didn't do that when I was alive.
exactly. No,
So
very
for
true,
us,
man.
Exactly.
I pray that while we're all alive, knock on wood, that we can do this for our fans. It'll be so
Hmm.
amazing. I could almost hear it. I could almost
Well,
hear it.
guys, we've come to our conclusion here. Great, truly great to have you all here. Cyndee, thank you so
Thank you.
much for
Thank you.
arranging this.
Thank
I
you.
want to throw it back to you all, man. Any special shout outs or shout outs to anybody that you guys want to make out there?
Yeah. Well,
Uh, yeah,
real quickly, I forgot to mention this on behalf of Dave and myself. We also wanna send a beautiful, beautiful, heartfelt condolences and reminder to Soraya. Soraya was the one who
yeah,
performed with us,
Yes.
"Dreaming of You" in the
Oh wow.
Selena
Yeah.
Vive Festival. And she was
Yes.
an artist, Colombiana, that was huge. Grammys, very well, known. And after that performance, several months later, she unfortunately, for the second time, was dealing with breast cancer and lost the battle. And we lost an amazing artist, Soraya.
Mm,
And so we want to, our condolences to her family. We always think of her. And she was another one that was almost like amazing with us, like Selena was. She was afraid. Oh, but I don't sing R&B. I don't know. And we're like, no, 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 Soraya. Be Soraya. Let us be the R&B,
yeah.
Barrio Boy, that style. Just be Soraya, and it's gonna merge because that's exactly what we told Selena. Selena, be you. You got spunk. Just
Yeah.
be you. We'll be, and we're gonna flow together. And she did,
right.
and it was amazing. So yeah, I would like to say that. But on behalf
Perfect.
of Angel, I want to thank the fans. Of course, Cyndee always coming through for us, the Barrio Boys, not only on a business level but on a personal level. She's a sister, will always be that, and majorly loved. Kudos to her family. But yeah, thank you, fans. Thank you, for always being there and giving us this love and support. When you don't hear records, when you don't see us anymore, you still keep wanting, you still keep asking for us. That goes a long way for not only me, Angel, but for my brothers from the Barry Boys, each and every one of them. So thank you, and always love and uh, all the grace in the world to our mighty Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because without Him, nothing's possible.
Amen, brother.
Thank you, Ruben, for the
Yes,
opportunity.
sir. You got you,
David.
brother. Dave, how about you, Dave?
Yeah, I want to shout out to you. Thank you for inviting us to your platform. I want to thank all the fans out there that have been supporting the Barry Boys for years, and shout out to my people on the TikTok. 'Cause I got followers that follow me on TikTok. I just want to say to all of y'all, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for your comments and stuff. And shout out to Cyndee and everybody that's been helping us out and doing talking about story time. Story time. We got a lot
Yeah.
of stories to talk about. Shout out to the rest of the guys in the group, Freddie, Hans, Louis, brother. We brothers for life. Love them all. And shout out to also Joe Jacket. Joe Jacket was the one that put the group together, and he's doing his own thing. And yeah, to the fans, man, I appreciate y'all guys a lot, man. But we got a lot of stories to talk about, man. There's so many stories, it's crazy.
Might
That's
be a
right,
part
man.
two. Who knows? Might be a part two.
Part
Hey,
two.
Yeah.
you guys got a home here. One thing I'll leave you with is from a business aspect, man. You guys might want to consider writing a book as well, man. You know what I'm saying?
I want
Yeah,
to
Cyndee,
give my
over.
shout
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
Oh,
Cyndee, over to
I
you.
want. Yes, so I want to give a shout out. Well, first of all, I want to thank you, Ruben. It was a great pleasure to meet you, and thank you so much for the invite. And I want to thank all my fans and all the Barrio Boy fans. That you guys have been amazing, guys. I'm like, oh my God. When I first started with this idea, I didn't think that it was going to get to this level. But the Barrio Boy fans are like the craziest and most amazing fans ever. I love y'all, and yeah, I've met so many friends through the Barrio Boy fan pages. All your fans have become friends, and to my brothers, Angel, David, Louie, Hans, Freddie, Rob. I love you guys all with all my heart. You guys will always be my brothers as well. And like you said,
Likewise.
Angel, not on a work level, but on a personal level. Los quiero mucho con todo mi corazón. And, what can I say? And, thank you so much to everybody for following us and following us on this crazy journey. And I'm glad to have you guys back.
That's awesome.
At least to do this for the fans, because Barrio Boy
Always.
fans. Thank you guys. I love y'all.
Yeah, for sure. Hey,
Nice.
truly a pleasure to have you all on the show. Luis Las Dave again. But with that, we say our goodbyes. Angel, Cyndee, truly a pleasure. An honor to have
Likewise,
you guys. Anytime you guys want to come on, you got a house right here.
Thank you
Te
so
queremos
much.
mucho.